The secret to well-being is discovering the power that is your birthright, the power to create a happier, healthier life, drawn from our own vast internal resources. Join Jules and her guests as they gently guide you to shift your perspective from the familiar negative to the divinely connected, a place that will not only positively impact your world, but possibly shift the planet. It's all right here on Law of Attraction Talk Radio.
Well, welcome to Law of Attraction Talk Radio. I'm Jules from beautiful Southern California, and I'm so glad you're here. You know, I have got a returning guest coming back on, Dr. Toni Camacho, who is a wonderful friend, but also my herbalist. And boy, she has got some common sense knowledge that can totally change your life, as she did my life. It's really easy, but it's amazing how we humans tend to make things complicated, or we tend to put things off until we are in dire straits. That's just how we are. So I'm going to give you some tips, or shall I say, Toni's going to give you some tips on how you can make your life much more easier. And that's by going to Mother Nature first and foremost. This is really going to be a fun show. And I love having Toni on because we talk about so many different things, just no matter what. It's not only to do with herbs, it's to do with everyday life, vibration, energy, you name it. We talk about it, and it's so good. I just love this lady, and I'm so glad she's on. And I know you're going to enjoy tonight's show as much as I do. So stay tuned while we take these short commercial breaks, and then we'll be right back with Dr. Toni Camacho.
It's here, it's hot, and it's a must read. It's the science behind the Law of Attraction magazine. Every issue brings you great articles and in-depth how-tos from all your favorite Law of Attraction experts, authors, scientists, and medical professionals. Go to lawofattractionmagazine.net. That's lawofattractionmagazine.net.
Did you know that every human uses only a small portion of their powerful mind? Jules Johnson, international certified hypnotherapist, wants to introduce you to your powerful mind in order to create your dream life. In as little as one session, Jules guides you into releasing limiting beliefs that keep you from achieving wealth, health, better relationships, and even true love. Schedule a session in Palm Springs or set up a Skype video session for those nationally and internationally. Jules would love to serve as your guide into living your dreams. Go to creativeguidedimagery.com or call 951-201-2166. That's creativeguidedimagery.com.
You're listening to the Law of Attraction Radio Network, heard by millions worldwide through 38 internet radio stations and in over 135 countries. Be sure to sign up for your monthly updates and get all the latest information on LOA radio events such as cruises, workshops, and seminars, as well as information on the latest shows, topics, and guests. Go to LOARadionetwork.com and sign up today.
Well, welcome back, Toni Camacho, to Law of Attraction Talk Radio. I'm so glad to have you back.
Nice to see you again.
I know it seems like it's been, for a couple months now. And
yes,
we have you back on at least once a month to give us some good stuff. But I really wanted to touch base on the immunity system, because I was sick last year, but I had not a clue that it was my lack of immune system that really was starting everything off.
Yes, and it's a lot of people don't realize that their immune system plays a big part on staying healthy. And they start experiencing a cold, something as simple as a cold, and then it gets complicated and it goes to their lungs, and then becomes bronchitis, and then they get better, and within 3 weeks they have a cold again, and they keep going and going, and they go to the doctor and they get antibiotics, and then they get another round of antibiotics, and it goes into this cycle that the antibiotics, even though they might be helping them sometimes, because not always, because as you know, antibiotics only kill bacteria. So if you don't have a bacterial infection, they're just giving you an antibiotic that is doing nothing other than even weakening more your immune system. And I'll tell you, I went through that 15 years ago, and I didn't know either. I was just getting one cold after the other, and then turning to bronchitis, and the doctor kept giving me more antibiotics, and eventually another doctor told me, it's like, well, we're making it worse. He said, stop all the antibiotics and take probiotics and start boosting your immune system. And so I started taking vitamin C to boost my immune system, and making sure I ate a lot of greens and live food. And, that's when I started realizing that my adrenal glands were also failing. And so my adrenal glands were pretty, as I mentioned before, pretty low functioning. So I had to work a little bit on both. I'm boosting my immune system, but also maintaining my adrenal glands. But yes, it is incredible. And we don't know that by our daily activities, we are impacting our immune system all the time, just by if we drink too much coffee, if we stay up late, if we don't sleep well, we're impacting our immune system, and we're constantly under stress, and if, like it or not, we are constantly under stress nowadays. If you're driving to work every day, if your job is a little bit stressful, if you have kids, and then you have to run them around here and there, all of that's stress, and it impacts your immune system. And so if you have a lifestyle that it's fast, and which most of us do nowadays, it is highly recommended that you help your immune system a little bit by eating healthy, drinking green smoothies every day. Take vitamin C is essential. Vitamin B gets depleted when you're under stress. So supplementing vitamin B helps a lot. Eating whole grains, because they have a lot of magnesium, which relaxes the body, and they have selenium and other minerals that are good for the immune system. So just basically, we have to overcompensate for our busy lifestyle that we have nowadays. And I think everybody does. I mean, to say that, unless you're a monk in a monastery, we all are under some stress or another, or some days not sleeping well, and others we do. And it's just, life happens, right? It would be great if we can get to a point, even though in our industry, we talk a lot about the law of attraction and staying in high vibration emotions, which, by the way, is a great way to boost your immune system, to stay in the emotions of gratitude and love, and, the highest frequency. So they not only attract great things into your life, they also keep you healthy. And we all want to do that, but there's life too. And it happens to all of us.
All of us.
We have nephews, grandkids, and, work. And so
it's called daily stress. I mean, we can't get away from it. It's part of our human existence, especially right now. So, well, for the last 50 years, I would have to say, but that's what it's all, it's just a part of life that we're going to have to just accept and overcome it with the right nutrition, the right herbs.
Yes.
Because we can't ignore it. It's going to happen.
Yes. That's the life we have. That's where we live. And so it is. So we have to compensate for it. And the great news is Mother Nature gave us a ton of stuff that we can compensate with. We have herbs like echinacea, which is such a simple thing that we could do. We have astragalus. Astragalus is super amazing for your immune system. It just goes deep inside your body and just lifts your body up and regenerates and produces more energy, not just like physical immunity, but also energetic immunity. It's a great herb to take. And of course, we have the adaptogens that are great for the adrenal glands, but they're also great. They're what they call immune modulators, like ashwagandha and holy basil. And so there's ginseng is another great one. And sorry, my cat. They're just great. And pets. I mean, believe it or not, pets boost your immune system too. So having your, spending time with your cats and your dogs or whatever, even if you have a fish, that in your home, that's great for immunity. They make us smile, and they just, their energy is contagious, and they're just great to have around. Yeah, but again, vitamin C is another great one for immunity.
Yeah, and I especially like the B vitamins. I think I mentioned before, I go down every week and get a B shot of all the B vitamins every single week because it just gives me energy. And I think it's helping everything as well. Instead of just a B12, which I love, but B12 in all of them, I think is a significant, and it's not expensive at all to get those kind of shots every week. It's very inexpensive, and it's like, wow, what a world of good. And you do that, and I do that with Epsom salt baths, which is the magnesium.
Magnesium, yeah.
That your body needs. So right there, you're getting it. But what they don't have is the actual formulas to improve your immunity system. And, without even knowing it, your immunity could be down. Are there some signs, besides getting sick, are there some other signs that we could be aware of that we're feeling, or is it just feeling tired?
Yeah, tired is, I think, more than, by the time you start getting sick all the time, you're a little bit beyond, you're like at a time where now you really need to do something about it because your immunity is pretty low. But yeah, one of the first signs is tiredness and like sleeplessness and just not feeling normal. You should be feeling, no matter what your age, you should be feeling full of life. If you're not feeling full of life, then your immunity is also being impacted. So you should be feeling joy and gratitude and just being happy to be alive. And all those emotions are hard to keep up if your immunity is down. Because if you don't feel good or if you're not healthy, it's hard to sustain those types of emotions, right? So those are kind of signs. But yeah, I will definitely, if you're tired all the time, you're starting to have some immunity issues. And you mentioned magnesium, which is great. And I think that one of the things that we have in our society right now is this new way of looking at dieting, and grains are evil and they're bad for you, and this and people are avoiding grains. And I know we also have
grains. GRA. Yeah. Okay. Grains.
Yeah. Which is real. Unfortunately, but there's many grains that don't have gluten, and grains have magnesium, selenium, and zinc, and a lot of minerals that are actually really good for you. And one of the things that I find amazing, for example, is brown rice. How there's been studies now showing how it helps with fight diabetes. And we have so much diabetes now, and people are avoiding rice because they think they have the carbohydrates. And the problem is the white rice, the one that has been processed, the one that hasn't had any fiber, that yes, it's one of the contributors to diabetes. But the whole grain brown rice is actually healthy.
Yeah, so cool.
And now you have to soak this. I always tell people, yes, it is true that grains have enzyme inhibitors and phytic acid, which they prevent you from absorbing nutrients. But the thing is, we're meant to soak them. So if you soak them overnight and then cook them, you soak them, then you rinse them, and then you cook them, you're not going to have those problems, and they're going to be easier for digestion, and they're going to help you. But they're loaded with minerals, and minerals is one of the key things to have a strong immunity and a strong body, and also energy. And it goes back to, again, when we don't eat organic, there's not a lot of minerals in non-organic food. So that's why we also tend to start going down. So it's also another contributor of our immunity going down. Not to mention, we can go on and on about the pesticides and all the other endocrine disruptors that are non-organic food. But if we focus just on immunity, it's like they're lacking a lot of the minerals. And so eat organic. If you feel your immunity is going down or you're constantly tired, try drinking a green smoothie in the morning and one at night. And, if you can only do one, that's fine. But when I say green, I'm talking about very little fruit, just like mostly like green vegetables, like kale, like the leafy greens, kales and collard greens and spinach. And add that, I know this product called Vitamineral Green that has a lot of minerals and that come from plants from the land and from the sea. And so you can add that to your smoothie, like a teaspoon. And again, drink 2 smoothies a day, and you'll start feeling much better. You'll feel I feel like I'm walking on air sometimes when I do my smoothies. And meditation helps boost the immune system too. There's a lot of things that you could do to lift your vibration and your energy. And the more you stay with live foods, the better. You can cook them slightly, but dead food, animals, have the lowest vibration. If you have to eat them organic too. But try to do as much greens and whole grains, and you'll feel amazing. After a few days, you just feel like, again, I feel like I'm walking on air. Between meditation and that, I just love it. And like I said, I rarely get sick nowadays, now that I know, to do that.
That's a good point about those animals, though, because those manufactured animals, they're in the plants and everything, they are killed and they have fear. So you're ingesting that fear.
Exactly.
And that is not good for the body. That's not good for the body. And so if you're going to eat, do free range. And you have to really pay attention to the grass-fed and everything, humanely killed. And I don't even, what do they call that?
The grass-fed animals, yeah, and you're guaranteed that you're supposed to be, that they are free. And when they do cage them in those temporary times, they're supposed to be treated humanely. So as long as you buy organic or free range, you're guaranteed that the animal was happy, because that's what you want. We are what we eat, and if you're eating a stressed out animal that hasn't been treated humanely, like you said, you're ingesting that vibration. And, like I said, with the law of attraction, we want to vibrate as higher as possible. So you don't want to be eating those animals that were stressed, because then you are internalizing that stress yourself, and it lowers your vibration too.
Exactly.
And the highest vibrating foods are the greens and all live plants. And so that's why I recommend always, like, drink a smoothie. It's not only good for your immunity, but it's good for your vibration.
Right. Yeah. Even, in today, I'm not, everybody, especially around in my neighborhood, they talk politics, and there's so many people that do not agree. They're on one end and the other's on the other end, and there's like that kind of, it's so wrong that we can't get along with each other and just hear each other out and just, turn around and say, no, that's not for me. And then, but still be friends. But there's something that's blocking everyone, and it's affecting us not only emotionally, but physically.
Yes.
And I got to tell you, that's what the drama that's going on in the U.S. right now is, that we're not physically in line with happiness. It's your side or my side is right and your side is wrong, and nobody's going to come together to figure out what's really going on.
It's that need to be right that we have.
Need to be right.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I tell people. If you want to raise your vibration, you have to, one, be aware of your thoughts, which and then two is give up the need to be right. If you know you're right, why are you trying to convince other people? If you in your heart know that it is what it is, then state your case if you want to, and then let it go and walk away thinking, well, I know I'm right. But it's that need to prove that we're right that causes a lot of pain and suffering, not only in you, but like you said, in the world, in the planet. But when we start learning about the law of attraction and how our beliefs impact our reality, then we realize it's like, well, the truth is, this is my show. And if I'm creating this, whatever's in front of me, it's because it's in my subconscious. So if I want to change it and I need to be right, just go work on yourself, and then the outside will change. And so you don't need to convince anybody. And I think you have to come to that conclusion where it's like, there's really no need to convince. I'm creating this reality. I'm creating this person in front of me arguing with me. So I have to change the way I believe and the way I see the world in order to have a different person in front of me, or the person that's in front of me to express a different state of mind,
Right. And that's so important right now. I live in California, as you do, and it's just like, wow. There's no middle ground in California.
Yes.
One side or the other. God bless it. But that's okay. We're hopefully we're going to come together soon, and it will be much better. Hence, we had the earthquake yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Did you feel it?
I did. I was writing when it happened. I'm like, it was very subtle, even though it was strong. I'm like, is it really moving? Everything was just oscillating. Yes.
No noise. So we're just going.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It was really something. But again, if you look at the energy and the way people are thinking, that emotion is strong enough to create an earthquake. I don't think people realize that.
Exactly. And I don't know if you have read about the studies done by HeartMath, the Institute of HeartMath, and how even people, they don't even have to be touching you, even 3 feet or 5 feet away, which we know that is probably our auras, right, that are touching, that they change your heart rate and your brain waves. And so if we're all doing that, trying to take different sides, so why not we're impacting the planet, in our area. And going back to immunity, if your heart rhythm is chaotic, then your immunity is going to go weak too. So we have to watch what we say and what we think. And that's why I tell people, meditation is for yourself, but it's also for the world. If you can spend the last 2 or 3 minutes of your meditation just seeing everybody happy and together and wishing that there's peace in your area or your world, even in your family. Start with your family, right? Because Gandhi said that peace starts with you, and then it goes to your family, and from your family goes to your community goes to your city, and eventually it trickles to the earth. But if we just dedicate a little bit, even 2 or 3 minutes a day of imagining a world that is peaceful where we all get along, it helps. And there have been studies about groups of people meditating on peace, and they see the statistics of how even crime rate reduces in that area where people are, a group of people are meditating, focusing.
Yeah, that is a real study. It was called the Maharaji effect.
Yes, exactly.
And it was 1981, and it reduced the crime with all these people meditating, reduced the crime by 25%. Yes. So that's significant. But it's funny you mentioned HeartMath, because Howard Martin's going to be on the cover, and he's doing a very big article for the magazine. And I know Howard has been at quite a few of my events, and he was talking about the World Trade Center and how amazing it was with the monitoring and everything of human emotions that they do. Well, 15 minutes before the World Trade Center came down, everybody was up in the jittery field. So it's like everybody knew 15 minutes in advance something was going to happen. That was before the planes hit. So it's really this experience that we are having, a human life, is connected in so many more ways that we just don't even know. HeartMath has been discovering that. Well, science actually, but it's like, when are we going to understand and really live it from day to day? That's the most important thing it's one of the reasons why I have this show.
Yes, that's a great show. Yeah. And you're right. Sometimes I wonder too, so what is it going to take for us as humanity? Because like you said, this study was in the 80s, and there's been studies on energy early, even in the 20s. And so what's going on that we don't see it, or it's just a small part of the world that sees that? And then I think even though we know it, then it's hard to live it. You have to make a conscious effort. And I was telling my friend the other day, he's like, you're changing it again. And I said, I am, because I'm trying to shift from having a to-do list to having a to-be list, because I get busy doing things and accomplishing this and that, and I try to help people. But in the end, peace start with you, right? And so now I was like, okay, every morning, 45-minute meditation. And then at lunch, I go for a walk and do another 45-minute meditation. And before I go to bed, another 45-minute meditation. I make sure I eat live food. I'm cooking everything at home now, because that way I know exactly what I'm putting in there. And I'm focusing more about the energy of the food and what is the food bringing to me, and blessing the food, and just making delicious, colorful food that it just raises your vibration because of the way it looks, the way it tastes, and its quality ingredients, all organic. And just I'm putting a lot of making my own bread now. I feel like I'm going, well, people might say backwards, right? Because baking and, just from everything from scratch. But I'm minimizing, like I said, my to-do instead of making more work for myself. It's like, well, I have this free time. Why don't I use it to raise my vibration? And, we know that if your vibration's high, people around you, their vibrations lift. And so, again, peace starts with you. So, if we cannot, like you have a great, a great show, then you can help multitude of people. And a lot of people say, well, I don't have that, or I don't have a gigantic group of people that I can impact. Start with you, and you're changing the world. You're impacting. You have an impact. If you're happy, that energy goes around,
Yeah, that makes a difference. And it's funny you said that about meditation, because I was just reading this article about a millionaire saying that, he meditates twice a day, and that's how he got his millions.
Yes.
So if you're striving for money and you're not meditating, you may want to consider that.
Because the striving energy is low-level energy, right?
Right.
I mean, we have to get past that. We have to work hard and be stressful in order to make money.
Isn't that the truth?
Happy, and you will attract the possibilities and the right circumstances and the people. And you still have to work, but things will come to you easier, and your vibration will be high too. And in the end, you're not going to take the money with you when you're gone, so might as well be happy and enjoy your life and lift the planet during that time too.
Yeah, and you're just not going to put out that vibration if you're stressed. So if you are feeling stressed or you're worried about something, you got to take the opposite approach. You have to meditate, get on herbs, do your adrenalines. If you're stressed, your adrenalines aren't working, because that is Mother's Nature way of keeping you unstressed. Yes. So you have to start taking some adrenal herbal products. Like yours is fabulous. I swear by it. I didn't even know what life was like without good adrenals. I literally had no idea how good it felt until I got on it. And I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm a different person. Life totally changed. And it's amazing. How many years have I been doing this show and up here smiling? Yeah. But inside I'm going, ooh. Hey, I'm truthful. I'm here to admit it. But I'm also here to tell you what works. And Toni's herbal products, oh my God, it works. Now, Toni, your website is, give us again your website.
Is Dr. Toni with an I, Camacho.com. So that's DrToniCamacho.com.
And if you go there, you can see all of her herbal products. She's got it for immunity. She's got it for adrenals. She's got it for fungal. She's got it for hormones. Oh gosh, hormones. Thank goodness for Toni. And she's got everything that you could ever need. Even, I get the stuff for my grandkids as well, because look, when you're sick, the same thing is going to work. What doesn't work and what makes it worse is, unfortunately, Western medicine and the drugs that they use. It's there to end that symptom. It's not there to cure it. So, you're going to save time, you're going to save money, you're going to save health if you just go directly to Mother Nature.
Yes.
That's the truth.
It's another thing that vibrates really high. And it's alive, and it has intelligence. So it's not just like a chemical that you're taking. It knows what you need, and it will work on what you need, not it's not gonna just, let's say you have high blood pressure or regular blood pressure, and you take a blood pressure herb, it's not gonna lower it. It's gonna bring it to balance. There are herbs that work on specifically on treating symptoms, but the majority tend to bring you back into balance, which is great. They're just an amazing live intelligence that you're taking in. And if you know how to extract them well and create good medicine and make them strong like I do, then they're highly effective. The weak little bottles is probably not enough that you find in the health food store. So you really need to know to go with somebody that knows how to extract them and give you
what potency, how strong can you go? And if you're hurting, you want the ultimate amount of potency that is going to resolve the issue fast.
Yes.
And even if it was, and I thought, with the fungal, it was like you could resolve it in a couple of weeks. No. Even strong, it's going to take a long time for you to overcome that. But you do. You absolutely do. And it's a miracle. But, and you want to keep on taking it also, I think, and I could be wrong, but keep on taking it to prevent other occurrences.
So it depends on your immune system, right? If your immune system is weak, then yes, you have to continue taking it until your immune system can take over.
Okay.
Well, if you have a strong immune system, you have to be afraid of getting it because your immune system is going to push it away and get rid of it. But the majority of people, when they already have that, like chronic, if you have like something that just happened, everybody gets a yeast infection here and there, then it will get treated in a few days and you'll be done. But if you have had it for many months and years, or it has become chronic or systemic, that is all over your body, then you are going to have to take it, like you said, for a long time. And also we have to work on boosting your immune system and getting that immune system strong so you don't have to depend. That's the beauty of herbs. You don't depend on them forever. It takes time because we have to rebuild your body. And it's not like you said, like Western medicine, they just give you an antifungal, which is even weakening more your immune system because it's a toxin. And you're just treating the symptom, but then your immune system is weaker, and then now you need it again, and it happens again and again. With the herbs, eventually you'll get to a healthy space, and hopefully you'll also start eating healthy, and you start changing your life, and you start meditating, and so then you don't have to be afraid of anything. It is.
So do you think then that the immune system, is that what you need to work on? No matter if you have something or not, a symptom or something, should you always be working on the immune system to make sure that that's top notch?
So yes and no. The beauty about the immune system is if you eat healthy and you can take your greens, you won't need to work on it. That's actually your work. So, now if you're under stress, then I will recommend that you have to take some immune boosting herbs. Now, you also have to give time. If you're not chronically ill, I will recommend to work a little bit on your immune system and then give it a break so the immune system continues to do it on its own, because you don't want to become dependent on the substance in order for it to work correctly. So you take a break and then you go back to it, and take a break and then you go back to it. Now, if you're already having autoimmune disorder, then don't take a break. You have to support it. If you're under a lot of stress, then support it with adaptogens, to compensate that in vitamins and minerals. But if you're not having any illnesses and you're fine, the way to keep your immune system top notch is eat healthy.
Yeah.
Healthy. Try to manage your stress. Don't abuse caffeine and alcohol, and you'll be fine. Really, people to stay healthy. Unfortunately, most of us are already on the other side where we need to try to support it.
Yeah, well, like we were talking earlier, the majority of people are very stressed out. So you mentioned vitamin C. What is the type of vitamin C that we should be looking at to supplement? Because I'm a firm believer. Matter of fact, I was just listening to this guy on YouTube who I've interviewed. I think he's one of the most smartest men in the world. He said that vitamin C is the cancer preventative.
Yes.
But he said you have to take the right kind of vitamin C. So now I'm a bit confused.
And it is actually kind of hard to find the right vitamin C. It has 3 components to it. Now, all vitamin C is good. And if you cannot find the right one, and I have it on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember the 2 other components, but I will give them to you after the show. So maybe I'll put it in the
I can do that.
Something. Still take vitamin C. And in Europe, I think there's studies trying to treat leukemia with just vitamin C. Now, they're huge doses. I mean, they're not like your vitamin C that you go buy in the store. They're like intravenous and, but they have treated leukemia and reversed it with just vitamin C alone. So he is right. And if you cannot find the one that has those 3 elements that I'm going to give you, just take vitamin C. Just what I always say is try to stay as close to nature as possible. And so I would buy the ones that are made from food or from rose hips or, not the synthetic ones, because now you're adding another synthetic part to your body. I actually buy I think it's called 365, the brand, and it's like 2,400 milligrams per quarter of a teaspoon. So it's a lot. And I just put it in my smoothie. I put a little quarter of a teaspoon in my smoothie every morning. And then in the evening, I take a vitamin supplement, especially the days that I know that I didn't eat healthy or as healthy as I wanted to, or I had a lot of stress. I take the brand Nature's Plus, Garden of Life, Nature's Plus. No, wait a minute. No, it's Nature's Plus. And I'll give you that one too. That is a very complete vitamin mineral supplement. It's the only one I have found on the market that has it has 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C in it. It has 10,000 UIs of vitamin A. It has a lot of vitamin E, vitamin D. And what it does is it's a little bit pricey, and it's made with food, made 100% with food. And it's the liquid one that I buy because it's more you absorb it. I don't have to go and buy a bottle of vitamin C, a bottle of vitamin D. When we start getting into this industry, you go to people's houses and they have a bottle of each vitamin because the multivitamin supplement doesn't have enough.
Right.
It has everything in.
Wow.
You can buy it at Amazon for $35 and it lasts you a month, and you drink an ounce a day. And I found it very complete, has all the vitamin Bs you need. So you don't even have to go buy your vitamin B supplement separately. So I really love it and recommend it to people. And it's not a product that I sell or anything. It's just, to me, it's if you're going to have to take supplements, that's a really great brand, Nature's Plus. Nature's Plus, the Source of Life, because Nature's Plus has a lot of products. But if you go to the Source of Life product, that's the one. And go with the liquid. They're more bioavailable.
Well, I know that he said that if you are sick and you take vitamin C, you shouldn't just take one in the morning. You should supplement it throughout the day and take another 1,000 and then another 1,000 and then another 1,000 and spread it out during the day. And that's how you're really going to get it into your body and saturate your body. He's just saying vitamin C is the real trick.
and he is correct, because vitamin C is water soluble, and so you urinate it, and so that's why he's telling you to take it throughout the day, because it's coming out of your body pretty quick.
Yeah.
And, if you're sick, do it often. If you're healthy, like I said, I do it twice a day. One in the morning is 1,000 with my smoothie, and then at the end of the day with my multivitamin comes with another 1,000. So, and you know what? Another plus about vitamin C, your skin will look amazing.
I know, that's what he says. It plumps up your skin. I'm going, okay.
You look alive and you have less wrinkles, and it's just it's great. Yes, I notice my skin's oh my gosh, I start to look old when I forget my vitamin C.
It really makes a difference. But there's so many terrific things that are right there at your fingertips. And here, we go to the health food store, but yet we question whether I should spend $15 for something. But it's so much better for you than going to the doctors and getting that fake stuff.
Yeah, you either pay it in healthy stuff or you end up paying it to the medical doctors. when you're suffering. But the first option is you're not going to suffer, so it is worth the investment. And we are spending so much money on Starbucks or $5 coffee or whatnot. It's like, save it up and buy your vitamin. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's worth expensive vitamins. If you get the right kinds, are very good. But again, I'm going to say, I love the herb products that you do, and it's keeping me healthy and walking the 3 miles every morning. It's incredible. Now, it took me 65 years to get to that point where I'm finally saying, wait a minute, I need something different here. That's what I'm trying to get it out there. You don't have to wait till my age.
Don't wait.
Do it easier. And you don't have to get as sick as I got. You can really turn around your life, feel good, and then just vibrate at a higher level, bringing all of those things that you want in your life to you. Otherwise, if you're sick, you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't. So, yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, it is essential. You have to be healthy, in order to manifest good stuff into your life. Yeah, your body is, this is where you live.
That's right.
It has to be healthy. Yes.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing, that some people wonder why I bring health on, because if you're not healthy, just don't even watch Law of Attraction. Don't even listen. Don't do it, because just save your time. Go and be miserable somewhere else, because you're not going to if you're not going to get in alignment with your health, you're not going to fully appreciate what you can manifest in your life. You're truly not going to recognize the power that you were born with. You're blocking it through ill health. And so the first thing about the Law of Attraction is know your body. Take what you need.
And we get obsessed sometimes with the spirituality. And we want to be spiritual and want to reach enlightenment and we want to be at the high vibration. But don't forget your body. Your body is as spiritual as your soul. Right. And you have to take care of it too. And if it's not in good condition, you're not going to be spiritual either. Even though you can claim you are, if you're not healthy, you're not. You love your body. It's part of the package. While we're in this planet, it's part of the package, and it's part of our responsibility to stay healthy. And you're right. I mean, divinity gave us all these herbs. It's amazing how many herbs we have to stay healthy, and they're not toxic. And like I said, with your immunity for your adrenal glands, thyroid, whatever you need, nature has given it to you. And like you said, don't wait until you're sick. It's harder to recover when you're like really low. You have to do a lot more work. Just prevent it. Take care of it. Prevention is the key. It is.
Yeah. And we all want to be fantastic manifestors. And, the truth of the matter is life is very magical, especially when we listen to our intuition. But when we're stressed and we're not healthy, we're not listening. We're worried about too many other things instead of focusing on what our intuition is telling us. And that's probably the most important thing. And especially the pineal gland, because I just did a huge article that's in the magazine about the pineal gland. That is how you're getting the downloads from the universe, is right through that pineal gland. And is there anything that we should be taking to strengthen our connection with the pineal gland?
The adaptogens. They're just wonderful substances. So going back to those same herbs that help the adrenal, it just helps the entire endocrine system. And some of them are more specific than others for that, but all of them, ginseng, ashwagandha, all of them are going to help you. Chisandra, they're going to all help you with that. So
they're going to help the pineal gland to open up, to be healthy. Mm-hmm. And with the pineal gland, we're going to get downloads, but it's also a part of the pituitary, which is our well-being feelings.
Correct. That's what I was referring to. If that's healthy, everything else is gonna flow. Yeah. So the adaptogens will be great for that.
Okay. Do you have a product just for those to improve those?
You can use the same one, the one for adrenal. I name it adrenal because that's what most people know about. But it's the same. It's the same herb. So I could create another one that's identical and just put a different name on it, a different label. But it is
your pineal gland. I'm a big believer in the pineal gland. I love those downloads. So really, that's all we need is the adrenal thing. That the product that you do, it will work on keeping our pineal gland healthy and our well-being through our pituitary. So, gosh darn, we got it made then.
It's just that herbs do multiple things. That we tend to see in the Western way, like aspirin is good for a headache, and that's how we've been trained. You take a cough suppressant for a cough, and so we are always associating one thing helps an antidepressant, helps depression, things like that. But with herbs, it's not like that. They're more broad. And and so adaptogens is just, they bring you back to health and they restore your body, whatever your issue is. And they're harmless. That's one of the things that makes an adaptogen is an herb that's harmless. It doesn't hurt you if you take it. It's great. And it brings you back to balance in general, your entire body.
Okay. Interesting. This is good information. And excuse me, and we are all out of time. And I loved it. I love having you on. It really just energizes me to keep going forward. And I know everybody loves it as well, because we have to be reminded of this stuff because we get so busy with life, we just forget it. And we push ourselves down the road instead of focusing in on what we need right now. So, Toni, you're fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for having me. Always a pleasure. Love it.
I love having you on. So we'll talk to you all. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week with another great show from Law of Attraction Talk Radio. If you'd like to comment on tonight's show, send an email to jules@loaradionetwork.com and have a great week.